If you want to sell an online course on your WordPress website, it used to be that you pretty much had to choose a membership plugin to do that with. And I have to say, I shudder to think of all the time I've spent trying to figure out complicated membership plugins. And most of them have absolute feature overkill for anyone just starting out trying to sell a simple digital product online. And that's one of the reasons why we recently introduced an integration between our Thrive Apprentice plugin and SendOwl, which is a payment processing system with a few other features included as well. Now, I won't go into all the details why we chose SendOwl for our integration because we've already discussed that in a previous video. In this video, I want to show you how to do the setup and how to do the connection between SendOwl and Thrive Apprentice. Hello, I'm Shane Melach from Thrive Themes, and like I said, we're going to have a look at how to connect Thrive Apprentice to SendOwl and go through the steps. And we tried to make this as simple and as pain-free as possible, but it's still quite an involved process, right? All the things you have to set up before you are at the point where you have all this, you have all this set up, people can pay you, they get access to a product, people who haven't bought don't get access, they get added to your mailing list and so on. It's quite a lot of moving parts that we have to fix together. And we tried to make this as simple as possible, but it's not quite a one-click solution. So because of that, I want to give you a walkthrough of exactly how to set this up. So let's get into it. The first thing we need is go to your WordPress admin dashboard of the website where you will be delivering your course. So this is the website where people will log in and get your course. And here we want to install the Thrive Apprentice plugin. So to do that, if you haven't installed it yet, you go to your Thrive Themes account. So log in to the Thrive Themes account. And on the homepage of your member account, so right after you log in, you'll see download Thrive Product Manager. You download this plugin right here. Then in your WordPress website, you go to plugins, you go to add new, and you go to upload. And here you choose the location of this file, open and install. After a few seconds, you can activate the plugin once it's been installed. And that gives you the Thrive Product Manager. So here we go to the Product Manager link. And then you simply log in with your Thrive Themes credentials. So those are the credentials that you use to log into Thrive Themes. Now, if you're already logged in, you basically click on this link here and it will check your login status. And then you'll see this message here where it basically automatically, it notices you're already logged in, sends the relevant data back here, and now you're ready to install Thrive Apprentice. So we want to do this here. Thrive Apprentice, we select that, click on install down here, and then we have it ready to use. So now back in the dashboard, we can see Thrive Apprentice is right here. All right, so now when we go to the Thrive Apprentice dashboard, here it will prompt us to do a few things. It first will ask you where are the courses going to live. So the course we create now and also future courses, they will all live in one overview that your customers can access. And it's basically asking us, where should that be? If you already have a page ready for this, then you can search for that page's name here. And you'll see a drop down of pages that already exist. If you don't have it yet, then you can go here and create a new page. Now I'm going to call this page courses, right? This is where people will access my courses. And then I click on continue. This will create a page called courses. Then here there are some basic personalization or customization settings right now in Thrive Apprentice. I'm going to skip past that and just use the default. And customization is going to be improved in future versions. So right now, we're just going to keep it simple and use the default. What we can already do now is start creating courses and things like that. But what we are most interested in here is the integration with SendOwl. So Thrive Apprentice gives us everything to create lessons and modules and chapters and make an easily navigable online course. But SendOwl is the component that will do the payment processing and so on. And so we want to connect the two. And to do that, we need a couple of things. First of all, let's go back to the Thrive dashboard. And here we want to go to API connections and go to Manage Connections. This is where you can connect your Thrive Themes products to things like email marketing services and many other tools that we integrate with. And one of them is SendOwl. So here you can search for SendOwl and we'll see it in the list right here. And so now we need the API key and API secret from the SendOwl dashboard. So let's switch to the SendOwl dashboard. Here you want to go to your settings. So this is in SendOwl, go to settings, and in the advanced section here, go to API. And as you can see, I already have a couple set up. In the beginning, you will only see your signing key here, or the account key rather. And what we want is API keys. What you want to do is click on Add API Key and give it a name. I'm going to call this Thrive Demo Key. And then you want to click on Manager, which basically gives this key all the permissions needed to do all the things that Thrive Apprentice needs to be able to do with SendOwl. So then we click on Add API Key. And then we have our new key here. And what we need is we're going to copy this here. So Control-C, copy. That's our API key that goes in here. And we're going to click to reveal and copy this one. And that goes in here. And then we click on Connect. All right, so now the basic connection between Thrive Apprentice and SendOwl is ready to go. We can go to Thrive Dashboard and back into Thrive Apprentice. And we have to go through a series of steps to finalize this setup. Now, unfortunately, this isn't super intuitive, or I mean, we've tried to make it as intuitive as possible, but there are many steps involved. So this is like the least complicated we could make it with the tools we were given. So as you can see, there's a quick start guide, which will guide you through all of the steps needed. And right here, this is all of the stuff we need to do in order to get everything set up and ready to go. Now, as you can see, we basically have this setup wizard that walks you through step by step. And if you are a tech savvy kind of person, you might actually find it faster to just follow the instructions on the screen and go through these steps right here, right? And again, this is in settings, SendOwl settings, and then quick start guide. You might find that faster than following along in the video. So do whatever works best for you. I'm going to show you all of these steps. The first step is to create a product in SendOwl. Now, I already have a product, but just to show you, in SendOwl, you want to go to products, and you can start. As you can see, I have a bunch of products here that are just test products, apart from my real product as well, right? So what you can do is you can just add a product. You want to choose product, choose the redirect type, and we give it a name. I'm just going to call it demo new. Give it a price, $1. URL doesn't matter. Let's do, it probably needs some input, so let's do google.com. We'll change that later. Create the product. And right here you can see some of the basics of SendOwl. So you'll be able to see that you can get your button codes here, and you will be able to customize the checkout and do other things. But importantly, we have a product here, demo new. This is our new product. So that's the first step done. A quick note about this. The first step doesn't update instantly as soon as you create a product in SendOwl, because there's not instant communication between your site and SendOwl. But just keep following the tutorial, and as soon as you get to a step where you refresh the product list, you basically tell Thrive Apprentice, go see what products are on SendOwl. As soon as you do that once, that step one in the quick start guide will also turn green and confirm that this step is done. But for now, just keep moving on. Then the next step is to complete the checkout settings. So I go to this button, checkout page settings, and here we want to have two pages. We need to have a checkout page, and we need to have the thank you page. So the checkout page is the page where people register their account. They give you name and email address and set a password. And the flow is they go from that page where they register the account to the SendOwl payment page. And then once they've completed the payment, they go to your thank you page. And we want to have the basics set up here. And again, you can either, if you already have a page ready for this, you can search for it in this field, or you can create a new one, which is what I'll do. So I will call this registration, or create your account, or whatever, right? And that's saved now. And then I also want to create a thank you page. So thank you for your purchase. I'll create these two pages. Now, to show you what just happened, let me open the pages. And here you can see that if I sort them by date, we have registration and thank you for your purchase. And these are currently blank pages. So if we look at this page, this is a default WordPress page on my website, and a registration form has been inserted automatically. So this is a Thrive Apprentice element that's been inserted inside my page. And to begin with, we can just leave this as it is. And for the thank you page here, we basically have a completely blank page with just the page title. Now these are pages we can customize later on, and I want to quickly show you the actual pages I've been using for the course I've been recently selling. This here is my registration page, and as you can see, this is a very simple page. It just says step 1, register your account, create an account to access the course, and this is where people can register. And also this is where people are prompted to log in if they already have an account. There's a forget password function. All of this is built into this registration form. So as you can see, I keep this very, very simple. We can optimize this later, but I just wanted to show you this, right? It's not necessary to do anything complicated here. And then my thank you page is this. And here, this is customized to give my new customers something to do. I wanted to have more than just a thank you, goodbye kind of message, right? So I have a confirmation that says, yes, you've bought this thing. There's a video message from me, and there's a link to a survey. So this is one I customized a bit more, but even here you can see, right, I'm keeping it very simple. This is not like an overly designed page. I'm keeping this very simple. For now, we will just continue through the setup process, and we'll talk about what to put on these pages and how to build them later. So back in our wizard here, let's go back to SendOwl Settings, the Quick Start Guide. So this brings us back to our guide here, and as you can see, the first 3 steps are complete. So the sales page here, we'll create that at a later point, but it's ready to go. What I mean is that when you go here, you see that now because we have a product, so here's the product I created, we can select this. This comes from our SendOwl account. If you don't see anything here, click the refresh product list button, and it will fetch the products you've created in SendOwl, and it'll give you a URL which will lead to the registration page we've set up. So when you sell multiple products, they will all be sent to the same registration page, and depending on which link they came through, SendOwl will know which product they are purchasing. So even for multiple products, you don't have to do this several times, right? You have your one multi-purpose registration page, and this will be the link that you put on your purchase button. And again, we'll get to that when we build the actual sales page. Let's go back to SendOwl Settings and the Quick Start Guide. And our next step here is set up your API account keys. So there are 2 different types of API keys we have to set up. We've done the first one. Let's do the next one. So let's click on the blue button again. And here we need our account keys. So let's go back to SendOwl. And once again, we go to Settings, Advanced API. And here we want the account key. So we grab this one, copy, paste it in here, and reveal this one, copy, and paste it in here. And we save these keys. Now, while we're at it, let's also send up the listener URL. Now, this is a further way in which we have to tell SendOwl where to send specific information when a purchase happens, when a refund happens, and so on. So what we want to do is we want to copy this link here, and this depends on, this will be like your website and then a specific path, right? So we copy this and we go into SendOwl, we go to webhooks. So from the previous one, if we go to Settings, Advanced Webhooks, that's how we get here. And we want to add a webhook, which is demo purchase. We want to enable it. This is our URL. So that's the one I copied. And the event is a order completed. Here we are, order completed. Then unless you are selling multiple different products on different websites, you can leave everything else as it is, all right? So it's basically no further conditions, and you just click on create. Then we want to do this again for further actions. So this would be demo refund, and we find refund issued. So this will automatically revoke access when someone refunds. We create that. Then we have another one which will be demo failed, and it's the same URL every time. So here we have order failed, create that. And that concludes our listener setup. Next, we have another copy paste job here for the thank you page. What we want to do here is copy this link. Again, this will depend on your website. So you copy this link, you want to go to Settings, and then in Checkout, go to Checkout Options, and here, Return Buyer To, we're going to go to External URL, and paste in this link and update. That makes our thank you page that we created, the default thank you page. This can still be overridden on individual products, but this will be the default thank you page when someone buys our product. All right, with that, we have done most of the annoying tech stuff that we need to do. So if we go to SendOwl settings right here, we go to the quick start guide, we can see that the first 4 steps are done. The 7th step is also done, but we can't automatically confirm that. That's why it doesn't turn green, so don't worry about that. And so the only missing steps are to build an actual course in Thrive Apprentice and assign access to your course, so you can then protect that course and assign it to only people who've bought a specific SendOwl product. So with that, we've walked through all of the API connections, settings, copy-paste type things that you only need to do once in order to establish that Thrive Apprentice to SendOwl connection, and we're ready to get going. Now that we've set that up, let me also give you a quick tour of the SendOwl settings in general. So I just want to give you an overview of what I would set up here among all these settings to kind of give you some guidance, because even in SendOwl, there's quite a lot of things that we actually don't have to bother with if we're just selling a simple course. So here's the setup, including how to connect this to your email marketing system and how to set up and activate your very own affiliate program so that you can invite affiliates to promote your product for you. In your SendOwl dashboard, go to the marketing menu, and then up here we want to go to mailing list. And here you can see a list of all the currently supported email marketing tools in SendOwl. And as you can see, it really supports all the major ones. So any one of these, if you're using any of these, you'll be fine. And the way it works, you select it here, and then you'll have some fields to fill out. And you can click on the show detailed instructions link. So that will show you, where to get this information that you have to fill in here in order to make this connection happen. So that's the first step. You choose whichever email marketing service you use. You hit this link, you make the connection. And then you choose the list. So in most cases, you'll have something like a list or a campaign or tags or something to add. And the only thing I'm doing is I'm just saying as a general rule, people who buy here go on the active growth list. This is just a list of all the email lists, right? They aren't as important as tags anyway, and tags I leave blank. We'll get to that in a moment. So that's the only thing I set up. I make the connection, assign the list, and that's it. Everything else we'll do on product level. So speaking of which, once this connection is set, let's go to products, and here I'll go into my demo new product. And when we set up the product, what we want to do is, for the email marketing, we want to go to this advanced options and scroll down, and there's mailing list ID and mailing list tag. So here we can basically say what happens when someone buys this specific product. So I want them to go on active growth, and I want to add a tag which I'll call customer demo new. And that's the only tag I'm going to add here. So what this means is that when someone buys this product, they will be added to my active growth mailing list. They will have the tag customer demo new added. My tagging convention is that I have customer as part of the tag whenever someone buys something. So that's the easiest way for me to see all customers and all customer related tags all at once. So I usually do customer : and then product name. And I'm just going to add one tag here, because anything else I want to add, I can do as an automation inside ActiveCampaign. So the only thing I want SendOwl to take care of is tag my customers. Next, let's go through the settings that are important. So we can go to settings in the SendOwl dashboard, and we have a bunch of settings here. Many of these we don't need. For our purposes, we don't need them. Here in your profile, there's nothing we need to change. And then in payment gateways, this is one of the most important steps. You want to integrate with some payment options, and you can integrate with PayPal, Stripe, and BitPay for Bitcoin payments. What I recommend above all else is Stripe. So PayPal is useful if there's no alternative, but Stripe is generally a much better service, and it also opens up more payment options other than just by credit card, such as Apple Pay, as you can see here. And the way you do that is you create a Stripe account and you click here on show detailed instructions. I'm not going to go into the step-by-step on how to set up a Stripe account and connect it here. It's straightforward enough, and it would make this tutorial too long. So the point here is you need to connect with a payment gateway, and this is where you do it. And then the next interesting setting that we should look at is taxes. Check this box here. This is for taking automatic care of the EU digital tax rules. And what you can also do is you can add an additional tax rule if that's necessary for your jurisdiction. For me, my company is based in Switzerland. There's no other tax rules, so I simply have to make sure that this is active, right? That I have this here applied, that will automatically calculate the correct tax for EU customers. That's all we need to do here. Then let me go back to settings, and then let's go into the checkout options. So here there are a couple of things that are important for us. One is the checkout template. The default is this little thing that kind of looks like an overlay, and it looks a bit like a Stripe checkout. I have started using this one, the marketer's checkout, which I quite like, because it doesn't have multiple steps. It just shows everything in one place neatly. So let me show you what my current checkout looks like. The way we can find out is we can go to our product and go to button code and copy this link here and open it. I like this because it's all, nice, neatly organized, it's all in one place, no multiple steps. I'm not a huge fan of the permanently visible discount field, but it's not a huge deal. So this is what I have, but the different checkouts, I did test 2 against each other and didn't see any difference. So I don't think it makes a huge difference, or at least it's not something I would worry about at this stage. You can also go into options and you can configure some things like colors. That's how I added my brand color, but that's really the only thing I did, right? I just added the brand color and that is all. And then we have checkout options. Here, if you already have a logo, go ahead and upload that. If not, don't worry about it. And then here we have the options. I want the buyer's name, which simply makes it easier to find records of people if they use different payment email and account email. We could remove this, but we're going to add an autofill feature so that actually buyers don't have to fill in their names anymore when they come from Thrive Apprentice. So I'll leave this checked. The country, this is taken care of by the EU tax thing. So the country is prompted. Address, we don't need, there's no shipping. Allow gifting, that means people can buy the thing for someone else. Why not? Mailing list subscriber, I've set to buyer. Then require receiver consent. This would be GDPR. And I don't check this because that would mean that someone can buy your thing, and unless they check the box, they will not be added to your mailing list. But under GDPR, there are certain emails that are necessary to send, such as when I send an email that says, hey, there's a new lesson in the course that you bought. I need to be able to send that to a customer. And I don't need explicit consent for that. That is part of the deal. That's part of the deal of buying the product. So the way I do it is I add everyone to my mailing list, and then I use explicit consent where I have people raise their hands by clicking a link before I start sending out a bunch of marketing emails. Plus I also have this concept of newsletter as a service, which I'll link to below. So instead of using checkboxes, I basically use email marketing itself in order to get GDPR compliance. Then order numbers, I don't have any requirements. For the T&C, so terms and conditions, I don't add this here because first of all, nobody reads them. And secondly, I have privacy policy and disclaimer and so on every page on my website. And the same rules apply. Because what would have to be in these terms is the same kind of stuff, right? We use cookies to track what's necessary and so on and so forth. So I don't add this to the checkout page. That's, it's just a personal preference. So those are the checkout options. Then we have custom checkout fields. We don't need that. I don't need any extra fields there. And we also don't have any shipping. Next, let's go back to our main settings. Here in downloads and post order, let's go to Google Analytics. This is a setup we can do. And we need the following. In Google Analytics, what you want to do is go to your property and go to admin. So when you're seeing the analytics, you click on admin, and actually you'll see this first. And so you go into the property setting. Property settings right here. This is the code we want, and we'll paste that in here. And then there's a note here. There's one more thing we want to do. So I'll go back into Google Analytics and I'll go to tracking info and click on referral exclusion list. And here you click on add referral exclusion, you type sendowl.com and you save that. So that means that when people buy your product, they are sent to SendOwl for the payment and then back to your site. And by adding this as an exclusion, Google Analytics will understand it's not that SendOwl is sending you traffic and that's where all your buyers are coming from. It is simply part of the payment process. These are people who come from your own website. That's it. With that, we can update these settings and go back into our settings view. Then back in our settings, affiliate program. This is great and this is important. So let's go in here. Here, you want to enable the affiliate program, give it a name, contact email, and then affiliate pay delay. So the pay delay is basically to make sure that you're not paying commissions on refunded orders. So this way, when an affiliate sends you a sale, they get a commission that is pending for 30 days. And in case that sale is refunded, before the 30 days are up, you don't have to pay an affiliate commission on money you never made. And it's quite important also for fraud prevention. Now, more options. Here you can add people to your mailing list once again. So here we have an affiliates list, and you have a tag such as affiliate AG. Then cookie, definitely reward the latest affiliate to refer. That's the fairer setting. Cookie lifetime, I think 1 year is reasonable. End of lifetime is reasonable. Direct selling I would not allow. You can read this tooltip to learn more. And terms and conditions here, I mean, I wrote these a long time ago. I have like the legalese at the bottom and then the actual, in English terms here. And this covers things like, you can't pretend to be me or my brand in PPC advertising. You can't do anything scammy. You can't offer cashbacks and so on. I think the most important thing here is that you have a plain English description of what you expect from your affiliates. You probably should, officially I recommend that you get a lawyer, get the lawyer to draft all of your legal documents and so on, and that would be part of it. And then we have site links next. And site links is, here's how you can add the links that your affiliates can generate, where they can send traffic to. And what we want here, of course, is the sales page. So we want to link to all the sales pages that are relevant for different courses we sell. So I would add a URL here. This here is the sales page I created, and this would be my demo product. And that would tell affiliates, or that gives affiliates a link by which they can send their referral traffic to this page. Now, I'm not actually going to add this because this is not a real product, but this is a real affiliate program. So I'm not going to add this, but what you then get is this, right? So that people can see this is the product and they get an affiliate link for this product. You can then invite affiliates to your affiliate program with this URL right here. So this will simply send people to a simple sign up page where they can become an affiliate. Let's go back to our settings. What we can do now actually is go back to products, because now that we've activated our affiliate program, we can go and set affiliate parameters on a product. So you can select your product, and then here I've already done this, but basically you'll see this checkbox, and once you have an affiliate program activated, this here appears. So you can check this to enable affiliate sales and then set an affiliate commission rate. And you can set this to whatever you want and then save the options. Then let's go back to settings. Here, PDF stamping, custom code, we don't need. Notifications, what matters here is if we go to customer emails, what's important is that we have the from name and the email address that things like purchase confirmation emails are sent from. So I've updated these to be related to my brand. And then here's the email template page. Now, most of these defaults are fine as they are. The only thing you need to update is, well, you need to translate them if you want this to be in a different language. The checkout pages themselves in SendOwl are automatically translated, but the emails have to be translated. And they use this liquid tags system where you can have different conditions, such as if we have a name, display this. If we don't have a name, display something else. And it can look quite complicated, but really what happens is that most of this data won't be shown because that includes things like shipping information and so on. So for a digital product, it just doesn't matter. What I have changed is it says something like SendOwl at the bottom, and I've changed that to the active growth team. And I've also simply added a link that says, here's where my courses are, right? To get your products, go here. And I've left the rest unchanged. This is one of those things where, I don't really want to be messing around with all of this. I would launch my product with basically the defaults, make some money, and then pay someone to say, look, I want this text in my emails, plus it has to have this liquid stuff. You hire someone, give them a few $100, they do that for you. I don't want to be messing around with this. That's just not a good use of my time. But that's it. This is where you can change the templates if you need to. And the most important one is the new order one. That's the one that the greatest amount of people are going to get. And that's it. That is my recommended guide for how to connect SendOwl with Thrive Apprentice and how to get your website ready to sell your very own digital products on your own platform. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this tutorial useful. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.